listening to the Agent Survival Guide podcast, a podcast for today's insurance agents. Informing, educating, empowering, improving the way you do business in an industry that's anything but static. In today's episode, we are talking round 2 of Medicare drug price negotiations. Learn more about the prescriptions and savings for Medicare beneficiaries in coverage year 2027. CMS announces Part D savings and 2027 maximum fair prices for 15 new Medicare-Negotiated drugs, written by Ashley Toomey. On November 25th, 2025, the Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services, CMS, announced lower costs for 15 drugs used to treat cancer and other chronic diseases. With these cuts, your clients with Medicare Part B and Part D will see lower prescription drug costs. Effective January 1st, 2027, the maximum fair prices for the next 15 Medicare negotiated drugs brings the total number of negotiated drugs to 25. Beneficiaries will see hundreds to thousands of dollars in savings on 30-day supplies on this list of 15 drugs in 2027 compared to what they would have paid in 2024. Savings range from 38% to 85% of the cost prior to negotiations. Let's get into our list. First up, and probably one of the most familiar prescription drugs on the market right now, Ozempic, Rybelsus, and Wegovy from Novo Nordisk. These are some of the GLP-1s available to treat type 2 diabetes, cardiovascular disease, and they're also used to manage weight loss in those diagnosed with obesity or as being overweight. In 2024, a 30-day supply was $959. The negotiated price for a 30-day supply in 2027 will be $274. That is a 71% savings, cutting $685 off of a drug that back in 2024 was used by almost 2.3 million Medicare beneficiaries. Number 2 on the list, Trelegy Ellipta from GlaxoSmithKline Intellectual Property Development Limited in England. In 2024, almost 1.3 million Medicare beneficiaries took this drug to treat their asthma or chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, COPD for short. Drug negotiations are set to take the price from $654 for a 30-day supply in 2024 down to $175 in 2027. That's a $479 savings, taking 73% of the cost off Trelegy Ellipta. Number 3 is a drug from Astellas Pharma US Incorporated, Xtandi, used for the treatment of prostate cancer. Back in 2024, 35,000 Medicare beneficiaries took the drug, and they paid $13,480 for a 30-day supply. Negotiations will bring the cost of that drug down 48%, cutting the price almost in half to $7,004 for a 30-day supply. Pomalyst comes in at number 4, a drug manufactured by the Bristol-Myers Squibb Company for the treatment of Kaposi sarcoma and multiple myeloma. 14,000 Medicare beneficiaries used the drug in 2024 at a cost of $21,744 per month. Drug negotiations will cut just over $13,000 from that price, lowering the cost by 60%. Beneficiaries will pay $8,650 for a 30-day supply in 2027. Number 5, a treatment for idiopathic pulmonary fibrosis, OFEV, from Boehringer Ingelheim Pharmaceuticals Incorporated. 24,000 Medicare beneficiaries used the drug in 2024, paying $12,622 for a 30-day supply. In 2027, they'll pay $6,350 for a 30-day supply.
That's saving 50% or $6,272 less than the cost prior to negotiation. Ibrance from Pfizer is next on our list at number 6. 16,000 Medicare beneficiaries used the drug for treatment of breast cancer in 2024. At that time, a 30-day supply cost $15,741. Negotiations cut 50% off that price as well. In 2027, a 30-day supply of Ibrance will cost Medicare beneficiaries $7,871. Linzess from AbbVie Incorporated is number 7. 632,000 Medicare beneficiaries used the drug in 2024 to treat chronic idiopathic constipation and irritable bowel syndrome with constipation. Beneficiaries paid $539 for a 30-day supply of the drug in 2024. In 2027, they'll see a 75% savings, dropping the cost of Linzess by $403 to a cost of $136 per month. Number 8, Calquence, manufactured by AstraZeneca UK Limited, is used for the treatment of chronic lymphocytic leukemia, small lymphocytic lymphoma, and mantle cell lymphoma. 15,000 Medicare beneficiaries used the drug in 2024 at a cost of just over $14,000 per month. In 2027, the cost will decrease by 40%, saving beneficiaries $5,628 per month. After negotiation, Medicare beneficiaries will pay $8,600 for a 30-day supply of Calquence. At number 9, we have Austedo and Austedo XR from Teva Branded Pharmaceutical Products R&D LLC. 27,000 Medicare beneficiaries used the drug in 2024 for treatment of chorea and Huntington's disease and for tardive dyskinesia. A 30-day supply was $6,623 back in 2024. Negotiations dropped the price by 38%, a savings of $2,530. In 2027, Medicare beneficiaries will pay $4,093 for their 30-day supply. Number 10, another GlaxoSmithKline drug, Breo Ellipta. During coverage year 2024, 626,000 Medicare beneficiaries used the drug to treat either asthma or COPD. Back then, they were paying $397 for a 30-day supply. Post-negotiations, Medicare beneficiaries will pay 83% less in 2027. The price will drop $330, putting it below the $100 mark at $67 per month for Medicare beneficiaries in 2027. Number 11 on the list, Xifaxan, manufactured by Salix Pharmaceuticals Incorporated. Xifaxan is used to treat hepatic encephalopathy and irritable bowel syndrome with diarrhea. 105,000 Medicare beneficiaries used the medication in 2024, paying $2,696 for a 30-day supply. Negotiations lowered the price by almost $1,700 down to $1,000 for a 30-day supply. That's a savings of 63%. Moving on to Vraylar at number 12, a drug used to treat bipolar I disorder, major depressive disorder, and schizophrenia. Manufactured by AbbVie Incorporated, 118,000 Medicare beneficiaries used Vraylar in 2024 at a cost of $1,376 for a 30-day supply. Negotiations brought the price down $606, saving 44%. In 2027, Medicare beneficiaries will pay $770 for a 30-day supply of Vraylar. Tradjenta is number 13 on our list, the type 2 diabetes medication from Boehringer Ingelheim Pharmaceuticals. In 2024, 274,000 Medicare beneficiaries paid $488 per month for the prescription. In 2027, that cost will be reduced by 84% to just $78 per month. That is saving $410 post-negotiation. Another type 2 diabetes medication made the list at number 14, Janumet and Janumet XR from Merck, Sharp & Dohme LLC. 239,000 Medicare beneficiaries used the medication in 2024, paying $526 for a 30-day supply. After negotiation, the price will come down 85%, saving $446 in 2027. That means Medicare beneficiaries will pay just $80 per month for Janumet and Janumet XR in 2027. And then finally, rounding out our list at number 15, Otezla and Otezla XR from Amgen Incorporated. 31,000 Medicare beneficiaries used the drug to treat either oral ulcers in Behçet's disease, plaque psoriasis, or psoriatic arthritis. Back in 2024, a 30-day script would run Medicare beneficiaries $4,722. Thanks to negotiations, that cost will come down 65% in 2027, saving $3,072. Medicare beneficiaries will pay $1,650 per month in 2027. Couple things I do want to note here. 2026 is the first year for Medicare drug price negotiations. In the 2027 Maximum Fair Price, or MFP, announcement, CMS stated negotiations were projected to save beneficiaries 44%, or $12 billion on prescription drugs on the list. If a drug remains in the Medicare drug price negotiation program, a discount will apply. For every year a drug remains in the program, CMS will adjust the price by the annual percentage increase in the Consumer Price Index for all urban consumers. The cost may also include any other updates based on renegotiations between CMS and drug manufacturers. Now, you might be wondering if manufacturers have to participate in the Medicare drug price negotiation program. The answer to that question is no. Drug company participation in the program is voluntary. However, participating manufacturers are required to ensure the negotiated price is made available to eligible individuals, pharmacies, mail order services, and other entities that dispense the selected drug. Now, let's talk about the future of Medicare drug price negotiations. The Inflation Reduction Act of 2022 gave CMS the power to negotiate on some of the highest spending drugs. 10 drugs were already negotiated for 2026. We highlighted 15 in this episode, and CMS recently published their third cycle of Medicare drug price negotiations at the end of January 2026. The third cycle of price negotiations can include up to an additional 15 drugs and allows for Part B drugs to join the negotiation process. And then in 2028 and beyond, CMS will negotiate up to an additional 15 Part B or Part D drugs. With more savings expected in the years to come, Part D beneficiaries are in for a much-needed money reprieve. And as their agent, you can use this knowledge to keep your clients updated as well. We will be getting into the 2028 list of selections in the coming weeks, so be sure to follow along with our show if you are not already. And thanks so much for listening to this installment of the Agent Survival Guide podcast. We will see you next episode. The Agent Survival Guide podcast is a production of Ritter Insurance Marketing, an integrity company. This episode was written and proofed by Ashley Toomey. Recording and production by me, Sarah Ruppel.
Podcast design and episode artwork by Urban Rivera. Follow along with our show wherever you like to listen.
Rate and review our show on Apple or Spotify.